Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. Satu Dave here. Just wanted to tell everybody happy Thanksgiving. Show a few new to me knives off, and I guess I'm basically going to take down a Satu just for the hell of it, because why not, right? So, a couple new ones to me. Another ZT for the collection, and a Harsey, the 4-inch version of the Harsey folder. Kind of digging this guy, but it damn way smaller than I thought it was going to be for any of you other guys that don't know what the size are going to be. There you go for a reference. It's small this way. It's decent. It's kind of a, a Hendery feeling knife. I kind of like it, but definitely smaller than what I thought it was going to be. Anyway, as you can see, got some new Satus. I posted this guy up on Instagram the other day. And these two came from another buddy of mine. I used to do some wheeling and dealing with back in the day. This one I've already shown, but now it's wearing in good. And I didn't realize until I got to work the other day, but yep. This is one in 20 CV. I've not had one this new. All the Satus I had were all S30, so a little bit older, but some of these older ones, like when you can see when I first got it, didn't really flip that good. It's not really flipping real good right now because I'm behind the camera, but just to show you, see if we can see it in here. There's a lock face. You see that barely little wear right there? So this thing's pretty much new. I didn't know they even made the DLC and didn't grind the lock face before or after they did the DLC. So this is definitely a newer one. I'm not seeing it done like that. Most of the time it's done like this, where you see it's DLC'd here, but this whole lock face is ground. I'm trying to get it out of the light so you can see it a little better. The whole lock face is ground after the DLC, where that one clearly was DLC'd afterwards. I don't know, it's hard to take on the video, but trust me, it's all DLC'd in there. So 20 CV with the thumb hole. I didn't really know what the thumb hole would be about. Like, I've seen them modded that way before, and it's not horrible, but I mean, I don't see a huge advantage of it either. Just something different, I guess. I still think I prefer the thumb stud over that, but what I may do is make a big huge step thumb stud to come out of there myself, out of titanium or something. We'll see. Time will tell. This is another custom one I got. Not really super fond of the laser engraving, but it doesn't really bother me either. But the finish on that tie, whoever did this, and I don't even know what kind of finish it is, but dude, I dig that shit. I'd like to learn how to do that myself. Anybody knows how to do that or seen a video on that, you let me know, because I dig it, man. But as far as the feel of a knife, this one here, butter. This is a sweet one, man. This is a super sweet one. This is S30. And I'm pretty sure this one started off as the stonewash version, not the DLC version. All the hardware still pretty much looks untouched on this side. And then here's the green one, the G10 one. I had a guy ask me on Instagram about finding one and possibly him buying one and me making a titanium scale for him. So I may end up doing that on this, but this video will kind of show him the knife too if he goes to checks it out. Just pretty much a standard G10 Satu. This one does have late lockup. Like, they're all varying. That's one of the things that kind of sucked about Graymans, is how much they vary. But this one has pretty late lockup. So, like, I'll show you in a minute when I take it apart. But like on this one, I had to make a new stop pin and a bushing inside of it. And like, while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and break this sucker down, see what's going on inside. So if you guys have never seen the inside of a Satu, now you will. So on this, all you really need is a T10. Let's just pull it apart real quick. So this is kind of sort of similar to Hinder hardware, where the back side of it will spin. And I haven't had this in a part, so I have no idea if it's Loctited or anything else. So we're going to do this all together. So back off of it, this had Loctite. You see the Loctite in it? Ooh, it has some Loctite. Dang, look at that. All right. Let's get this guy apart here. I know it's kind of boring to watch people take knives apart. I hate kind of sitting here doing it on the camera, but for you guys that haven't seen it before, I'm gonna need a rag. Hang on a second. I got something to get this traction here. All right. Let me get some go-go juice on this thing. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, there we go. Sweet baby Jesus. Yeah, they got some Loctite for sure on that sucker. All right, let's get the sucker apart and let's look at it. Probably not the best video for doing this on the first time. Holy crap, man. This thing got a ton of Loctite in it. There we go. Whew. All right, there's a scale. Oh, one thing to point out for you guys who like actually want to swap scales and do that sort of thing. On the G10, you see how you can't see the stop pin right here? Well, on the full ties, you can see the stop pin. Let's do this one so you can see it better. You can see the stop pin. So the stop pin comes all the way through the full depth of this scale, both sides on the full ties. But on the G10s, it only goes through the titanium. Does it go into the G10? See, there's no machine surface for that because it's not, you know, going to do anything. So one thing to note if you're changing scales on them. See that? Okay. I gotta pry this one off too. This is what happens when you use too much Loctite. Shit gets all stuck together. There's really not a whole lot you can do other than just kind of work it around. Normally I wouldn't do this on a camera, and if I known it was this bad, I probably would have taken it apart before I started this, but here we go. Let's get this sucker apart. All right, so the bushing and the pivot fell out. I'll show you how that's it. Or actually, that's the stop pin, my bad. So let's look at it real quick. That's what I was just describing a minute ago. You see how it's got a long step on this side to go through the tie side, and this side's only through the liner. So it'll make a full length. So if you do a tie conversion scale, you have to make it differently, or make a new stop pin, whichever one you'd rather. On something like this, where the lockup was super late anyhow, I'm just gonna pull this blade off here so I don't kill myself. I'm gonna go over this in a second. Damn, this thing's got some Loctite on it. Whew. I don't know if you can see up in there. Let's see if we can do this so you see how much Loctite's in there. Maybe spin it over. No. Man, this thing's covered in Loctite. Jeez Louise. Trying to break up some of that Loctite. There we go. Jeez. God. All right. Well, that's why I use the Loctite paste and not the Loctite liquid. And that's why you use sparingly amount, not a ton of it. All right. So finally getting this sucker apart. All these Satus have this G10 backspacer in them. Nothing fancy. I think they just did it for weight, maybe cost savings. I don't know. Oh my God, there's a lot of Loctite. You see how this thing is pretty much Loctited in there? This should just slide on and off. There we go, finally. All right, so the hardware is kind of sort of like hinderers. You got the barrels that have the thread on the inside of it. I like the style hardware a lot. Only problem is when you Loctite it, it's oftentimes it spins. Luckily it didn't this time, but so if you've never seen the inside of a Satu before, you see the blade opening is pretty damn big. This is kind of sort of like a Chris Reeves in this regard. Just has a bushing in it. Oh my God. Should not be this tight, guys. This is way too much Loctite. You see the pivot? See where it's barely even coming out after I just hit it with it? So what I'm gonna do is screw this. Let me put the screw back in it and knock it out. Sometimes you gotta do this to some stuff that's been Loctited too much. All right, so you see I just put the screw in it, knocked it through. Hopefully I'll get it out at this point. There we go. Jeez Louise. All right. So anyway, what I was trying to tell you is, you see how this pivot is way smaller diameter than the actual blade is. I'm trying to get where you guys can see it. So they put that other bushing, the steel bushing, inside the blade to kind of act like another bearing surface. The tricky part is when you set these suckers up, this is all nasty. I'll take it apart and clean it. It'll probably perform way better than it is right now. So basically you're looking at a tolerance stack. So people talk about tolerances. From a machinist point of view, someone say that the knife has good tolerances. They don't know what the tolerances are. They know what the fit is. So they has good fit is what they're actually talking about. So what I mean by that is this washer could be plus or minus 5 thou or 5 thou thicker or thinner, but it wouldn't matter as long as the fit was right. So what I mean by that is, if I take a measurement here with both washers and the blade, this bushing has to be slightly bigger than that in order for this system to work right. Otherwise, it's going to work just like a regular knife. This is what this system is designed to do. So this video is kind of boring enough as it is. I just wanted to kind of over the parts of it, show you basically a little bit of what's going on inside the Satu. I'm gonna try to clean it up, make some action a little better, and hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. Later.